Welcome into episode 109 of the Sports Information Podcast. I'm your one and only host, week in and week out, Hop Hopkins. Sorry, not sorry about not posting on Thanksgiving week, though. If you follow us on Instagram at Hoppothy, SID, HOPPOTHY, you still got the picks for the week. Tonight, I'm going to be flying through. I don't have my producer with me. I got a pickleball game, semifinals and championship at 7 and 8. It is about 6:24 here, so we got to be quick tonight. Slightly different style of show for you as well. Like I just said, no producer. It is just me, so no phantom voice. Sorry. Extremely minimal recap of Thanksgiving week 13. Speed round of week 14 picks. And then I'm going to give you guys some real cogent analysis of the season so far and maybe critique or praise some specific examples of player performances. But first, I got to give a quick shout out to the Hanover men's and women's basketball teams. Both of them are on fire this season. Both of them just came off their first conference win, first conference game as well. So they're 1-0 in conference, both teams. Against Berea just yesterday. The women played on the road. The men won here at home. And it was an absolute thriller here. Luke Miller was super clutch down the stretch, and Will Harold was just spraying that thing. Draining threes. And I'm going to say that boy because I'm going to say that man. He might be a freshman, but he's a man-child. That man, Malachi McNair, he's going to be a problem for the HCAC. Be on the lookout. And then Grace bleeping Beasold. You're just a hooper, girl. I don't know first thing about you, but I know you're a bucket getter. Averaging 26.4 points per game on 52% from the field. 9.3 rebounds a game, a block and a steal a game. Yeah, that's 5th in the nation for all points, total points in all of Division III. That's insane. She's having a hell of a season. Let's get her on some ballots for, regional player and all those things. All right, we're going to jump right into the A block now. Shout out Hanover Sports. We're moving on. 14-1 in week 13, Thanksgiving week. Only game we missed was the Baltimore and Philly game. We picked Baltimore. I said it. I said Philly's fraudulent. I don't like them. Their coach. Blah. I'm not a big Jalen Hurts guy. I was wrong. I was wrong about the game, and I was wrong about Philly. Philly is either the best or the second best team in the NFC. It's either them or the Lions. And they're finding ways to win despite their coach. I'm going to stand on that hill. Nick Sirianni is not an elite NFL coach, and they're finding ways to win despite him some weeks. Some weeks he's just, not getting in their way, and Saquon is carrying them. That's what's happening. And the rest of the guys are doing their job. So let's jump right into week 14 here. We got Packers and Lions tonight at 8:15. This episode might not be up by then. But just know we posted the picks on Instagram about 2 hours ago for this week, week 14. So they're there, okay? We had it, and we said it. It's going to be the Lions. I want to pick the Packers in this spot, but I know that's my heart wanting me to pick it. The right pick, the smart pick, I'm sure the favorite has to be Lions. They're at home. They're the best team in the NFC record-wise. The right pick is the Lions, okay? I love Matt LaFleur and what he's doing with Green Bay this year. I don't know if I love Jordan Love, but he's certainly well above league average. He gets it done for you. Jaden Reed's that dude. And then Josh Jacobs has been great for them all year long too. But the Lions, man, they're rolling, right? They're on a 10, 11-game winning streak or whatever. And I think they're going to keep it going here in Detroit at home in this divisional game, a game that really matters, okay? So, and they're in the lead. They want to stay in that lead. And Dan Campbell's not going to forget last year the Packers blasted the Lions at home. So I'm sure Dan Campbell's got his team fired up. Sonic and Knuckles, a.k.a. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, they're ready. Them boys are going to be running that ball all over the field. Moving on, Browns and Steelers in Pittsburgh. Give me the Steelers. Mike Tomlin, thanks. Saints and New York playing the Giants. Give me the Saints. The Jets take on the Dolphins in Miami. Of course, we're going to rock with the Dolphins here. I was wrong on the Aaron Rodgers pick, I think. No, I wasn't. I just said it. I only got one pick wrong last week. Wasn't wrong on the Aaron Rodgers pick. I was almost wrong. in terms of picking against him. So, anyway. Titans at Jaguars, Jaguars at Titans. My goodness. I'm really focused on this pickleball game later, guys. Jaguars in Tennessee taking on the Titans. Give me the Titans. I don't love either team. They both suck, but the Titans seem to be struggling slightly less this year, and they're way healthier than the Jags, especially at quarterback. And their running backs are doing better than the Jaguars this year. So, Titans. Falcons in Minnesota taking on the Vikings. I don't think Kirk Cousins gets it done in Minnesota. I just like what Minnesota's doing this year. Their defense is playing really well. Justin Jefferson is elite and capable of going off any given week. This feels like one of those big-time games where he's like, nah, you're not going to come back here and woo-to-woo. And so he's going to show Kirk that, hey, dude, you ain't make me. If anything, I helped make you. And Jay Jettas and the Vikings are going to get that win. Sam Darnold's going to be fine. No pumpkin from Sam Darnold this week. That's the prediction. Panthers in Philly taking on the Eagles. Won't be close. Give me the Eagles. Raiders in Tampa Bay taking on the Bucks. Could be close, but it probably won't be. I'm going to go with the Bucks. Seahawks in Arizona taking on the Cardinals. I just botched this 2 weeks ago in week 12. I picked the Cardinals to beat the Seahawks in Seattle. I'm not going to botch it again this week. They're going to split. I'm rocking with the Cardinals again, this time in Arizona, though. Chicago Bears going to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Give me the Niners. The Bills in L.A., SoFi, taking on the Rams. And I'm taking Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp all day long. Love you, Josh Allen. I think you've been doing great. Playing your best season of football of your career, but give me Matty Staff and the Rams. They're in a division that is winnable. They're racing with the Seahawks and the Cardinals, and those two play each other. If the Cardinals lose this second division game to the Seahawks, they're almost guaranteed to not get that one seed. The Rams are still in the race for it, so give me the Rams here. I think they're hungry. It's not a divisional game, but it is a game that they need to win, and it helps them if they beat the Bills, another playoff team. So, Chargers in Kansas City taking on the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. I know the Chargers have been playing pretty good this year. That's Sunday Night Football, by the way, primetime game, so definitely give me the Chiefs. I know the Chargers' defense has been really good this year, and their offense has been able to put up points. But if you go look at the teams that the Chargers have beat this year, let me just pull that up and talk you guys through this. It's not an impressive win portfolio on the year. Let's see here. Chargers schedule. Okay, so they've beaten the Raiders, who we know are bad. We've beaten the Panthers, who we know are terrible. You lost to the Steelers. You lost to the Chiefs. You beat the Broncos, who are pretty okay this year. You lost by 2 to the Cardinals. You beat the Saints. You beat the Browns. You beat the Titans. You beat the Bengals. Now, granted, you do have to score 30-plus to beat them, but you beat the Bengals with a terrible defense. Lost to the Ravens. Barely beat the Falcons. Beat them by 4. So, just not that impressive, right? So, I'm not going to fall for the competitive divisional game. Chargers might find a way to win. New coach, Harbaugh, he's got some new tricks up his sleeve. It's not the same Chargers that the Chiefs have always scouted, but it is the same Chiefs that the Chargers have always... No, I'm not going with that. Not falling for it. The Chiefs will win. And then Monday Night Football, we've got Bengals in Dallas taking on the Cowboys. I think the Bengals are going to pick up one of their first wins in a few weeks. Sorry, Cowboys fans. You guys are just SOL for the year. And that, ladies and gentlemen, sports information consumers, is the Week 14 perfect slate. I don't know what else to tell you. How many games do we have this week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 13 games. Okay. Excuse me. I cannot get my throat clear. Pause. Straight into the B block. We're flying through. This is good. I'm making great time. I just got a few things written down here that I want to talk about, and I've got a few open bullet points. It's probably just me saving space for rambles. But, okay. I worded this first one wrong for sure. What I have written down is I fell for the Lamar hype. MVP belongs to blank and blank. I'll get to those other names in a second, but I'm not gonna say I fell for the Lamar hype because I did a little bit more analysis before the show here, and he is second in the league in total yards. He is tied for second in the league in average yards per attempt or per completion. Per game is where he goes way down, though. How does that work? Where did his name... Whoa. Where did Lamar go? Why is he not on the list no more? There he is. Okay, so he's tied for second. Or no, he's just third in the league. What? What are these rankings? He's 1, 3, 4, 5. He's sixth in the league, but they've got the number 2 over here by his name. That's ridiculous. Anyway, and then touchdowns, he's 29 passing touchdowns, and he's only got 3 interceptions. So I'm not going to say I fell for the hype because, I mean, he's having a great season. Super efficient. Problem is, they're not winning enough games. Like, go look at what is their record? Did they just pick up their 5th win? Yeah. Come on, show me the record. Don't be like this. Show it to me. All right, yeah. 5th loss, sorry. Ravens are 8-5. I meant loss. I know they've won more than 5 games, guys. They just picked up their 5th loss, right? Meanwhile, and again, I don't want to give these particular one of these teams credit. I don't really want to do it for either because I don't. Every year with Josh Allen, right? They talk about how he should be the MVP, and every year it's pretty much not true. This year, though, I mean, hello, we gave Patrick Mahomes the MVP the year that he took a 0 receiver Chiefs roster to the playoffs and then eventually won a Super Bowl. But to the playoffs because it's a regular season, he got him 11 wins in a regular season with no receivers. What's Josh Allen doing this year? Who's he had to throw the ball to? I'll wait. Anyway, 10 wins, 2 losses, and you go look at Josh Allen's numbers. Where is he at here? He's 14th in the league in total yards, but I mean, he's balling out touchdowns. He's 6th in the league, or tied for 6th rather. He's only got 5 interceptions on the year. And I mean, his QBR 60. I mean, Lamar's crushing him, man. This is why it's important to look up these numbers, guys. Excuse me. Lamar's got the best QBR and passer rating. I mean, golly, man. Again, I really worded that wrong. I was just typing it up fast, and falling for the Lamar hype is not the right phrase. You might have fell victim to believing that Lamar was the runaway MVP. That really hurt. And I will totally agree with that take because I don't think he's the runaway. Because this second guy, I think I just talked myself out of the Josh Allen MVP case. He's just not up there enough. But one thing I'm not talking myself out of yet, Saquon Barkley, league MVP, dude. He's on pace for 2,000 yards. That's going to set the 4-decade-long record that has been standing. Eric Dickerson said it like 40-something years ago. He averages the most yards per attempt. No, he doesn't. That was a lie. Of people that have had more than... Lamar. Of running backs that have attempted more than 100 attempted more than 100 carries, he is the rushing leader. Lamar's above him. He has had 111 carries. Same amount actually, but you see a bunch of receivers up here. Tyreek Hill, Kyler Murray's up there too, but like Dorian Thompson-Robinson averaging 14 yards a carry. He's only got 3 attempts. We're not going to count that, right? Saquon Barkley's leading the league in every major rushing category except touchdowns. And he's only 2 behind the league leader, Derrick Henry. But yards per game, it's not close, 124. He only has had 2 fumbles on the year. How many first downs has the man picked up? 58 first downs. That's 7 behind Derrick Henry, who's in the lead, and it's 6 behind. So it's 6 behind the second place and 7 behind first place. I mean, dude, and he's revived an Eagles team who started out hot last year and then fell apart in the latter half of the season and in the playoffs. A team that I deemed as fraudulent because their quarterback is not the consistent elite level play that everyone thought you were going to get post Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl. Their coach is abysmal. He makes just atrocious game time decisions almost on a weekly basis. And he sometimes coaches his team out of games. And Saquon Barkley has really just turned that whole franchise around. My God, he single-handedly has won them 3 or 4 games this year. So the MVP race, the correct quote that I should have put is, "I fell for the Lamar runaway hype. The MVP race is way closer than anybody's giving it credit for." That's, I think, where I stand on it right now, and it's got to be a conversation between Saquon, Lamar, and Josh Allen. He's got to be in the conversation. I don't think he'll get it. His numbers aren't gaudy enough, but that record is, and he's the driving factor. Because if you take Josh Allen out of Buffalo, that team is not even close to having a 10-2 record. Not even for a minute. And again, the MVP race, the MVP award as a whole, really. Of course it favors quarterbacks. It's a quarterback award in the NFL. We know this. Because the value of a quarterback to their team can't be equated across positions. There's not a single running back in history that has been more valuable to their team than an elite quarterback has been to their team. Right? So, for example, there's not a running back in history that is more valuable to their team than a Tom Brady, a Patrick Mahomes, a Peyton Manning, right? A Josh Allen. Saquon just is not more valuable to the Eagles than Josh is to the Bills. We've seen it year after year. Your elite to very good quarterback goes down, and your whole season is a train wreck. There's nothing that can go your way. Happens to every team ever that has an elite quarterback that goes down or gets taken out for whatever reason, right? Suspension, injury, whatever it is. But the MVP race is closer based on performance, based on contribution to team wins, and based on numbers between Lamar and Saquon. That is objectively true. Moving on. You want to know what race isn't close? Rookie of the Year. I've been screaming Jaden Daniels' name basically all year. That's my fault. Whoops. Shouldn't have been. Because Brock Bowers is the runaway Rookie of the Year, guys. Okay. Let's talk about it. He's a rookie, right? He's a rookie. He's a rookie tight end. And in all of the NFL, veterans, rookies, everyone alike, he is 4th in receiving yards. He is 4th in targets. He is 1st in the entire NFL as a tight end who positionally, maybe not Bowers because it's not a scheme, but positionally, sometimes your job description is block. Way more often than a wide receiver. Okay? Tight ends block even on passing plays from time to time. Wide receivers, for the most part, on passing plays, they run in that route, dog. Now, you get the Kelseys, you get the Bowers, you get the Dalton Kincaids. Goodness. You get the Kyle Pitts. They're going to run the routes because they're just a wide receiver playing tight end. But, you're a rookie tight end and you're leading the league in receptions. You have more catches. 5 more catches than the second play. Sorry. 5 more catches than CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase. You have 8 more catches than Amon-Ra. Travis Kelce has the next most catch. Wow, Travis Kelce at 5th. Total receptions. Who knew? In a down year. That's incredible. Maybe he's not as washed as we're thinking. Anyway, this is about Brock Bowers. Average yards per catch. Where's he at? Oh, he's way down here. And average yards per catch. Alec Pierce leads the league in that. 22 yards per catch. That's what's up. That's my dog right there. I don't know him personally. I just really like him. 10.5 yards a catch. That's pretty good. It's a first down every catch. Touchdowns. What's he got? 4. Okay, so he's not leading the league there. But I mean, dude, a rookie of the year, leading the league, and you're 4th in the league in the 2 major stats, targets and yards, and then the 3rd major stat, the receptions, you're leading them. Oh, and he's probably got 0 freaking fumbles. You know what? Just put him at the top again so I can see his stats. 20 plus receiving yard plays. He's got 11 of them. Longest catch, 57 yards. 0 fumbles on the year. Yards after catch, 445. Where does that rank? Oh, no big deal. 6th in the league. He's a rookie. Averaging the 6th most yards after catch per league. How many first downs has he got? Oh, he's tied for 6th at 43. Dude, rookie of the year race is over. It was probably over last week. It's Brock Bowers. Okay, and yeah, that means the offensive rookie of the year race is also over. It goes to Bowers. It belongs to Brock Bowers, guys. If you want to give offensive rookie of the year to somebody else, fine. But you better give rookie of the year to Brock Bowers, okay? All right. Glad we're on the same page about that. Rookie of the year, Brock Bowers. He just is, okay? Okay. Now, let's take a look at the playoff picture, and then I probably got to get out of here in the next 10 minutes or so, so let's just breeze through this. But AFC 1 through 7, you got KC, you got Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Houston, Chargers, Ravens, and then you got Broncos down at the bottom. Okay? Colts are right there on the Broncos' heels. They're only 2 games back. Miami Dolphins, they're also technically, they're 2 losses behind. They have 2 more losses, but 3 less wins, and it's because the bye weeks haven't caught up yet. But Denver doesn't play this week, so bye weeks will catch up there. So they should be 2 games back. Man, I just, it's so close, too, because the Chiefs still have 2 divisional games, and if they don't win both of them, they could significantly drop. They're 6-1 in conference, so they have the best record in conference. They're probably going to stay in that 1 seed spot. I mean, 11-1 is just hard to beat. They're probably, what's the rest of their schedule look like too? We got to take that into consideration. The rest of the schedule, the rest of the way, starts with Chargers this Sunday, and then they've got the Browns, the Texans, the Steelers, the Broncos. So they've got, with the way the Chiefs have been using their black magic, they've got 4 more wins on the schedule guaranteed, and then they've got a tough game in Pittsburgh on Christmas against the Steelers. They could also lose to the Texans. Now that's in Kansas City, 4 days before Christmas. Whoa, I forgot about that. Playing 4 days later. That's diabolical. 2 games in 4 days. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that the Chiefs keep the 1 seed. Buffalo's probably gonna stay in that 2 seed. Tell me what these mean. Clinch playoff berth, clinch division. Okay, so yeah. Chiefs, the Bills have already clinched their division. They probably won't even have another team from their division make the playoff. They definitely won't. So there will be 3 AFC West teams at this point. So here's the next question, and I know I said the Chargers have some really faulty wins. Or not faulty, but just like cheap wins on their schedule this year. But AFC West, in the conversation for one of the toughest divisions in football now? I mean, Pittsburgh is 9-3, Baltimore's 8-5. And those are the only two teams from the AFC North, and that's apparently the hardest one. And it is the hardest one, by the way. They're just always tough games in that division for whatever reason. So AFC looks about what we would expect, especially at this point in the season. I think before the season, obviously, you would have a team like Cincinnati making the playoffs over Pittsburgh, over the Chargers, over Denver for sure. And probably a team like Miami up there as well. A lot of you fools probably had the Jets up there. Not this guy. But let's move down to the NFC. That's the one I want to talk about. So, worst comes to worst, the Eagles stay where they are, which is the 2 seed. Best case scenario, they bump up and they steal that 1 seed from the Detroit Lions. I would say that's probably the most likely. The Eagles still have 3 divisional games left. The Lions still have 3 divisional games left, okay? So, the Lions have much tougher divisional games left, seeing as they play a really tough one this weekend, or tonight rather, against the Packers, and then they play the Bills, and then the Bears, and then the Niners, and then the Vikings. They could easily lose 3 of those 5 games, whereas the Eagles have at least 3 guaranteed wins left, I would say, because they're 3-0 in the division, and I don't foresee them losing any of their remaining divisional games. They're going to beat the Panthers tonight. Maybe they lose to the Commanders once. In worst cases, they go 5-1 in the division, but 2 of their next 3 divisional games, or 2 of their last 3 divisional games, rather, are at home. Cowboys at home, Giants at home. They've also got the Steelers at home. So I think best case, if you're a Philly hater, they go 3-2. I think worst case, if you're a Philly hater like me, they go 5-0. You know, more likely 4-1. Beat Panthers, lose the Steelers, win out the rest of the way against your division, and they're going to steal that 1 seed from the Lions. Now, Lions will more than likely still end up in that 2 seed. I don't foresee them losing out by any means, and they're for sure. I mean, they could lose 3 of those games, man. And if they lose 3 of them, let's see, at 11-1, no, Seattle can't catch them. So here are your standings in the NFC, by the way. You got Detroit at 1, Philly at 2, but I'm calling the flip-flop there by the end of the season before playoffs. Seattle at 3, Atlanta at 4, Minnesota at 5, Green Bay at 6, and Washington at 7. Oh, man. And then the Cardinals are 6-6, the Rams are 6-6, and the Bucks are 6-6. I'm going to tell you right now the Rams are getting into the playoffs. I'm going to say that one live, on air, right here, right now. I'm dying on that hill. Rams are getting their ass in the playoffs, okay, cousin? They got the Bills left at home, though, and I told you they're winning that. They're going to beat the 49ers, and it's in San Francisco. They're going to beat the Jets in New York. They've got the Cardinals at home, and they've got the Seahawks at home. So they've also got 3 divisional games left. I feel like most teams probably do at this point. A lot of back half of the schedules with divisional games. But I don't. Sean McVay and Matt Stafford work very well together. They find ways to win games. They missed the playoffs last year, at least I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't know. My mind's running to pickleball already because it's 6:53 and I need to be down there. So I'm going to cut it short and end with the take of the Rams will sneak into the playoffs. And if I had to pick a team that's going to fall out, I mean, Minnesota's 10-2 and they're the 5 seed in the NFC. And that's because, why is that? What the? I guess they don't have the tiebreaker over Seattle, or why is Atlanta above them? This is so interesting. Wins tiebreak over Tampa based on head-to-head win percentage. Aha. So that's why Atlanta is in over. Oh, I love this. It tells you on the side here on ESPN who wins tiebreakers over what team based on what. That's incredible. So, yeah. God, this was probably a really bad show. I'm going to hate watching it back. But episode 109, guys. Thanks for watching. Wish me luck in pickleball. By the time you do, it will have been over. my roommate JB and I will have been crowned champions. Yes, I'm talking about Justin Bieber. And as always, like, share, subscribe. See you next week. Thanks.